Titles, go.
You are the virus.
And no one cared.
Pinball Desert.
Greenworm?
Riddle me these tits.
Puking vultures.
Salad and concussions.
Horror Jesus.
Who's funny?
Yes.
It is. Dr. Orchid.
Ritz are a staple.
Who? Kip up.
The other dangly bits.
Sportsing guy.
Joe Dirt Pizza.
The tape measure? But
No.
celery?
Sharpies.
Somewhat of a
Oh,
Sharpie.
Highlighters.
But highlighters.
All right,
It's
let's
his
do
penis.
this. That's way too long. It's
This is my penis.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Different show. Different show.
Not if he's an armadillo. Apparently, they have ridiculously long penises.
The more you know,
I
people.
want to know why you know that.
or why
It's a
we're
story.
recording this.
That's a story for another time.
Warning. What you are about to hear contains explicit language, adult themes, and potentially disturbing content. The views and opinions expressed are those of the hosts and do not reflect the opinions of anyone else, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. This podcast is intended for an immature audience and should not be listened to by anyone, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. You know, fuck it. You've been warned.
Hello, welcome to this week's edition of Geek Pod. I'm your host, Paul.
I'm Hugh.
I'm Corbs.
I'm Kev.
I'm Jack.
Guys, what's got you geeked?
Well, I'm a little excited. Stern announced that they are releasing a new pinball machine based on John Wick, which is actually
nice.
getting some national attention. I'm seeing it in news. I don't know why this one gets attention, but that's fun. I like the John Wick movies. I don't know if I necessarily needed a pinball machine themed on that, but I'm sure it's going to be good. But outside of that, not a whole lot going on. I got a trip coming up I'm looking forward to. I'm sure I'll have some great stories about that. If you recall, on one of the previous Massachusetts trips, I walked headfirst into a bridge. So I'm sure I'll have some good stories for you guys when we get back.
This time you fall off the bridge, though.
Maybe.
No, don't do that.
Well, we are actually we're looking at going to a few. So we always go up this mountain called October Mountain, drive it, and it's the October Mountain State Park, and it's huge. And I started doing some Google searching and discovered a few things. First of all, right across the dirt road trail from a place that we go and park and look at the reservoir, back in the woods, there's a trail to a cemetery.
Ooh.
There, and there's a whole legend about a girl in that cemetery who people see walking around. There are Bigfoot sightings at another lake on the same mountain, and there's been UFO sightings. So we're going to look at some of that stuff. We're also talking about going to Mount Greylock, where there's this legend of a guy who, during one of the world wars, he went off to war and got captured, and he came back, much later than he should have, and found his wife in the arms of another man, and his kids call him this guy daddy. So instead of showing up, he just went off into the mountains and lived by himself. And people would see him once in a while. He'd do odd jobs. He's I forget the name, but maybe the Vagrant. He has a nickname. And there's a place in the other direction, which is only about 20 minutes away, where it's the only officially documented UFO sighting. And let me define that. This is in a place called North Adams, Massachusetts. And back in the 50s or something, I don't know. Basically, this guy says he was in a station wagon on this covered bridge when a giant UFO came out of the water and swept him and his family away to this hangar, and there were these bug aliens and all this stuff. But here's the thing. That UFO, that giant light, was seen by hundreds of people in 4 different counties.
Wow.
Wow.
And there's enough documentation that the state of Massachusetts actually has it in their historical societies. And there used to be a monument there. Now there's just a sign, but the state of Massachusetts recognizes that this incident happened. They don't say it was aliens, but there's no other UFO sighting that has that kind of credential behind it. And it's been visited by, all of the TV shows that do that kind of stuff. Ben Hansen from Fact or Faked has been there and bought a bench, and it has his name on it. So I'm excited to go check that out. That sounds like it's right up my alley.
That's
Definitely.
cool. I went to Mount Greylock last summer, so it's beautiful up there. It's
Oh,
really
is it?
cool. Really, really, it's a lot of very historic. There's just a lot of history up there. Cool stuff to see.
Well, I just didn't realize we always stay in pits like Pittsfield or Lee, and it's like literally like both of those places are like one's 15 miles north, the other one's 15 miles south. I don't know how we didn't end up visiting them before.
Awesome. That
Mount
sounds
Greylock
like
is the
fun.
highest point in Massachusetts. I didn't know that.
But
The more-
one
the more you know.
unfortunate thing is there appear to be no pinball machines anywhere in that area.
Oh,
It's a pinball desert.
it's
That's
kind of sparsely populated.
Yeah, but you'd figure there'd be bowling alleys with pinball machines and shit.
Yeah.
It's so, it's hard to find them. And the funny thing is that Stern has grown 15 to 20% every year for like the past 10 years. Like pinball got almost to where it was dead, and Stern was the only manufacturer. And now it's been growing again to the point where there's a bunch of smaller companies that do limited run pinball machines that do really well. I'm not going to say it's gangbusters. It's not like, Sony or something like that, but it's actually doing really well.
Nice.
Considering that it was almost dead at one point. So I find it odd that they're doing so well, but it's still so damn hard to find a machine.
That's
Very
cool though.
I'm done. Somebody
All
else
right.
go.
Somebody talk.
All right. So this past weekend, this isn't what has me geek. The next park does. So I went to Letchworth State Park for the first time. That was pretty fun. Hiked that, went over like 20,000 steps and like 64 flights, which was really cool. Then when we were done, we got some burgers from Bill Gray's, which are phenomenal. It's a great burger place. But okay, this is what has me geeked. So when we finished our dinner, we went to this place. We were like, my friend and I, we said, what's that? So there's a place called Millennium Games in Rochester, New York. I've never been there before. So they call themselves the largest game store in the country. That's their slogan.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it was really, really cool. So you walk right in. Literally, we parked in the parking lot, and we had to park in the back because it was really packed. I'm like, what is going on here? So you literally walk into the store.
Wow.
To the right of you is some vending machines where you can get like little figurines. You get tokens, which are really cool. They have graphic novels. Kev, you would geek out by this, like all sorts of board games, but go ahead.
Largest game store in the country.
Country,
it says.
That's what I just said. Yeah, that's their slogan. Yeah, exactly. So there's graphic novels, like I said. There's like stuffed animals, but Kev, what you would like, there's so many board games, and now I can kind of talk about it a little bit, but not too much because I'm still not great at it. Huge D&D section, which is really, really cool. So, but it's funny though, right in the back, you have like sorts of snacks, drinks, all that. But in the way back, this is why the parking lot was so full. There had to be a room of 50 to 60 people inside playing board games. D&D.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was so cool. Like it was like neat. So like I like literally every 2 seconds, like usually I get annoyed by it, but people were coming up there, can I help you, sir? Can I help you find something? And they were just so kind. And like I just said I do a podcast, and I wish I had one of the Geek Pod one of the Geek Pod cards with us. I couldn't think of the word. But like it has me geek because I'm so excited by it. But they gave me a free bumper sticker. It was like $1, but who cares? They're like, oh, that's awesome. Can you just mention us on your podcast? I'm like, yeah, sure. So no, it was just really neat. The owner was really nice. The employees were great. like I said, we went to Letchworth and Bill Gray Burgers. We were gone the whole day, but literally spent 3 hours in this store
Awesome.
because it was just so much fun. Because literally you're looking at you're looking at your watch, you're like, holy shit, we've been here for 3 hours. But great time. So Millennium Games, the largest game store in the country, is their slogan, and pretty damn cool.
Very cool. I'll have to reach out to them and say hi.
Hi.
Hey.
And they'll be like, oh yeah, we remember him. He came in, he said he ran a podcast with a bunch of old guys, and he was the cool one, and he'd mention us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did mention him, so
At least that part was true.
Yeah,
Only-
the-
It's
What
only
the-
13 minutes from our office there.
oh, okay.
Oh, even better.
no, you can't go there tomorrow, Paul.
Well, no, I don't want to go to Rochester.
Nobody wants to go to Rochester. You been to Rochester lately?
You know, actually, downtown really isn't that bad.
Downtown's okay, but it's just certain parts of Rochester that are interesting.
Just like any city, though.
Yeah.
You have the
Been to
armpits
the-
of all of them.
I've been to the Strong.
Strong's fun.
Yeah.
What's got you geeked though, Corbs?
I guess you know, you guys talked about it before, but I'll say that my brother is progressing and doing well. He's been out. He missed D&D last week. Had some real bad issues. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
You guys kind of know what that means, and most of our listeners do too. But he's resting comfortably now. They've got his wound pretty much cleaned out. So now that the antibiotics can fight the infection that it needs the way it needs to, as opposed to trying to fight through everything else. So hopefully he's back and doing well, but he's going to be in the hospital for probably at least another 2 weeks, but probably more than that. So, and then they're talking about some long-term care. So,
Yeah.
So, but it's just the fact that he's doing well. I talked to him. I'm not gonna say every day, maybe a text message or whatnot during the day, but maybe 4 or 5 times a week we chat on the phone. If I haven't gone up to see him, I've only been up to see him once. Work and all that stuff. It's just tough to get up and see him at the hospital. So, but he's doing good. He appreciates everybody that's kind of reached out to him from the podcast, and his other friends and whatnot. So he's looking forward to getting back. He's got got a long road, but he's looking forward to getting back with us for D&D. That's kind of his driving goal right now, is to get back for D&D. So, and he's got to have something to push towards. So I keep telling him, your spot's here for you. So just keep working. Everybody's looking forward to having you back. So I think when I told him that last week, it kind of picked him up when I went up and saw him on Thursday, the day after we had D&D. I mean, that's all he wanted to talk about was D&D. So I explained everything that we did and whatnot. So
Did you tell him he went awfully far to go out of his way to get a spotlight on the fucking episode? Jesus.
I did tell him I told him we gave him a cheers and all that stuff in the beginning and stuff like that. He really appreciated everything that that we've done, you guys have done for him. So
I just feel bad. I just feel bad for anyone whose driving force to get better is to hang out with us.
This is true.
It's tough to do.
Yeah.
Especially
I know,
Mr. Pink over there. Yeah.
I know.
So, but yeah, I mean, he was pissed that he couldn't be there. He was trying to find a way to get there last Thursday.
He's trying to check himself out AMA to go to
Right.
D&D.
I was just so excited to show him the $1 cheeseburger that I picked up, because when I took a bite, I wanted him to see my reaction and all that. So we miss him for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
that's it for me.
Those are the last $1 cheeseburgers for me. Oh my God.
I was just whelmed. Yeah.
You were just whelmed.
Yeah. So
I'd
I have high
rather get a
expectations
couple-
of burgers.
A couple double cheeseburgers from McDonald's.
I don't
No
disagree.
pickle.
I don't disagree. They're good. They're good, but too many of them really kind of
I think it's
hampers
just
your
that
day the next day.
DC built them up so high for all of us.
This is all I have to say. DC orders how many
10.
at a time?
And
And where is he right now?
fair point. Fair point.
Oh,
No, before he went to the hospital, he only had one.
I had one for the hospital. It was
Well, if
Friday.
he wasn't eating and he was dropping that kind, yeah.
Kev, what's got you geeked?
Oh, I don't know.
Thanks, Hugh.
Just Kathy and I are planning our little adventure. We're gonna do the MABDR. Last year I did the Northeast Backcountry Discovery Route with some friends, and this year Kathy and I are gonna do the Mid-Atlantic together, which goes from Pennsylvania down into Virginia. It's a really, it's the easiest one of all of them. For anyone that doesn't know, Kathy rides a Riker, which is a small version of a Can-Am Spider, which is 3-wheeled motorcycle, 2 in the front, 1 in the back. And it is okay for like dirt roads, but a lot of the places that this track goes from pavement to dirt road to like a 2-track, which is kind of like a Jeep trail, to something that would be more difficult, which I really don't want to put her on. So what we're going to do is we're going to parallel each other. We have applications on our phones that can keep track of each other, and she's going to go on the pavement and she's going to find her way from place to place. We have all of our points noted, where the track starts, where it ends, and we're just going to plan on meeting each other at the beginning and the end of each of these tracks, so that and there's 9 total, break the whole thing up, about 1,200 miles, 1,100 miles, something like that. So we'll obviously start the day together, have breakfast together, and then go on for the day. And then at the midday, probably meet somewhere in the middle, maybe not. At least communicate with each other. Stop a couple times during the day, make sure we're both still moving, make sure the vehicle's still fine, everything's still good. And then at the end of the day, figure out where we're going to go. Kathy has decided that she's going to be okay with going ahead and finding us a place to stay. We're not making any reservations because we don't really know where we're going to end up. We may do more than 1 leg a day, may do 2, may do 3, may do half of 1. All depends on how things go. So she'll find a place for us to stay, scout around, look for a place for breakfast, for dinner, whatever, and we'll meet up, and hang out. And most of these sections are around 100 miles for me. So they're dirt roads, and they twist and wind back and forth and, cut back on themselves. For her, they could be anywhere from, 60 to 80 miles to get to the same from start to end. So she's going to find a way to do it interestingly, so that she's not on highways, she's not, getting bored out of her mind sitting and waiting. And like I said, we're going to communicate back and forth to make sure we know where each other is. But it's a first for us. It's an adventure. It's just to see how it goes, see where we end up. I still got to find a place to park our truck and trailer. I'm hoping that I can leave it with the same fellow I did last fall. I did the BDRX, which is a loop in Pennsylvania, a 4-day loop. Nice fellow I met online that lives close by. He rides off-road a lot. Volunteered to let me park my truck there. So hopefully I can do that again. But if I can't, I'll find another place. Not worried about it. We'll leave from there and just have a good time. So we're really looking forward to that. We've been doing some planning, looking at the maps, looking at places to stay, and planning that whole thing. And it'll be nice to get away. Nice 9-day vacation.
9 days.
Yeah, well,
Nice.
figure a weekend on both ends of a week off from work, so it's easy. It's easy.
But
to do
is
9 days.
the tour itself the whole 9,
So-
or you're factoring in traveling to and from?
So I don't see how it could possibly take us 9 days, even riding all the way down and then riding back. I don't see how it would take us 9 days. It might take us like 7 days. The 9 days gives us a couple of days buffer in case something
Yes.
happens. But we're specifically not riding from the house down to the start, which is right on the New York-Pennsylvania border. I want to take the truck and trailer because I want it at least 4 hours closer to me. In case
Right.
something happens, it's that much less time to
Mhm.
get back to it, to self-rescue. And I always plan for the worst, hope for the best.
Right.
It's exactly like I did for the BDRX last year. It was make sure the truck and trailer, or the truck last year, this year it's gonna be truck and trailer, are relatively close, so it's not that far away. And then I don't have to bother anybody to go, come get me or whatever. I don't have to deal with tow trucks. As long as I have a way to get back to the truck, I'm fine. Even if I have to get an Uber or something, whatever, it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's the plan, and really looking forward to it. I need some time away. I'm a little burnout at work. So this will be good.
And Kathy's got to be psyched, right?
Yeah, she's really
Because
happy.
this is like 5 days of not dealing with you all day long every day.
Right? I mean, it's nice. She likes it when I go to Syracuse to go to work. This is even better. It's the same kind of thing. It's only a couple text messages, during the day, and then hopefully at the end of the day we get to have dinner together.
There you go.
Maybe she'll go off and do her thing, and I'll go off and do mine. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
She'll find 2 places for dinner. Kev, you're going here.
And then 2 hotels, right?
I'm
Oh, no,
looking
that's just
forward.
ridiculous. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. I decided to go to Georgia. Go ahead and tent it tonight.
Let me know how it worked out.
That's awesome.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Very cool. All right, mine. I don't know if the rest of you guys have saw it, but there was just the newest guest announcement for Sci Fi Horror Fest. And that is Mr. Michael Berryman is going to be gracing us with his presence. If you're not aware, Michael Berryman is a horror legend. Does that sound fair, Hugh?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
he's been in. It's helped by the fact that he's a very strange-looking individual, which
Yes.
has led to him getting lots of roles as strange-looking individuals. Think,
Mhm.
he's like the Doug Jones of the 70s.
Yes.
Starting much earlier, but same kind of thing. It always has work because of his unique physical characteristics.
Yeah, and for those who are not familiar, he's known for movies like the original Hills Have Eyes from '77. He was in Weird Science. He was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He's been in multiple different Star Trek shows and movies.
Guy.
Yes. I'm hoping that my track record with hanging out with fucking creepy ass celebrities continues this year, and I get to chill with him at the party. So.
You already know that. It's a yes, man. Come on. We already know
Well,
this.
no, it's not automatic. Like, I wouldn't have thought that, like, I was going to be summoned to freaking Leatherface's table either, like we talked about last time. So I'm not going into it banking on the fact that, I'm going to go be drinking with Michael Berryman. And also, the guy's 75 years old, so he may not want to be spending half the night drinking his face off. So.
Maybe that's exactly how he got where he is.
Also
Fast forward this podcast from months from now. What I said, retract that. You never know what these people are like when they're not at to be anywhere.
And again, if you guys haven't done it yet, Sci-Fi Horror Fest is at Vernon Downs, August 16th, 17th. Tickets are on sale now. If you don't get a ticket for the VIP access, you do not get to go party with them. And from what I hear, the plans for the after party the first night this year are going to make last year look stupid. Like, it makes last year's look lame.
Do
we
automatically get VIP tickets?
No. But that's what's got me geeked. I'm super psyched about that, as well as the first DLC dropping for WWE 2K24. At least, for the first 2 days until my virtual CM Punk injures himself and he's off the game again. So
can I just say this Michael Berryman was in Star Trek V, The Final Frontier.
Mhm.
He was in an episode of Star Trek Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
Highway to Heaven.
Yes, that's the glaring one. Yes.
Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home.
He played the whale, I believe. Yeah.
The Fall Guy, the TV series.
Yes.
He has some cred.
He's one of those guys that it looks like he's worked nonstop since 1975. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple of Motley Crue videos. Yep.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Are you kidding me?
Now you want to go back and watch it and see where he is in there, don't you?
Yep. Well, I mean, any excuse to go back and watch that movie.
It's a great movie.
Yes. All right.
Kev's happy now.
I can't wait to party with this guy.
All right, let's keep this fucker moving.
Fuckers.
Guys, anybody playing some video games? I knew that nod was coming. Jack, I'm worried about because he comes up with some fucked up shit.
Yep.
Mine's super easy, and I mean, I probably said this the
Predictable.
last. Yeah, predictable, right? Because what was just on, right? What
Mhm.
just debuted on Amazon? What is it? Amazon Prime? It was
Yes.
Amazon Prime, right? Fallout. Are you kidding me? The game that I have just fell in love with since the day it came out. The first Funko Pop that I ever received as a gift, and first Funko Pop I ever owned, was a Fallout Boy. Sits on my desk at work. Had to watch it. Had to immediately start playing Fallout 4, and what a great time it's been. I love it. I've just been having a great time with it. Why? Because it melds Fallout with Fallout Shelter. And I know, Hugh, you didn't really care for that aspect of the game. I've been having a great time with it. I just think it's fantastic, and just figuring it all out and understanding how it all works and building up communities and resources and seeing how happy my people are and going out and killing stuff, finding armor. It's just been, it's been a riot. I just absolutely love it. Every chance I get a chance to spend 30 to 40 minutes in that game, I'm just having a great time.
I'm with you. I jumped right back into Fallout 4, started a new playthrough. It's convenient because, you know, with my Steam Deck, I literally 25 minutes while I'm sitting on the toilet before bed. You know, play a little bit, save, pick it back up the next day, except for recording night because it'll be too late.
Yeah. That is nice. This is one of the few games where you can actually save wherever you are and pick right back up where you left off. Some of the games that I've played don't do that. They give you save points.
So far, yep.
And regardless of where you exit, you come back at that save point. So this is nice. This is a really good time. And you know, I'm really happy I got back into it. I don't know if I would go and explore Fallout 76, the good and the bad that I've heard about it. I don't know if I care. But man, I'm enjoying this game.
Kev, if you like Fallout 4, because I feel like 76 was kind of built on Fallout 4, the engine that came out after. Hey, serious, like I said last time, just go try it out. It's only a couple bucks. I mean, I don't know if it's still on sale. It was just a couple bucks, but it's worth it because you like the lore, you like the world and the lore. And 76 is full of that stuff. And the truth is, you don't have to do any of the multiplayer stuff if you don't want to. Ignore it.
They
also check the library on the PS4. I may be one of the free downloads. So if it doesn't cost you anything, why not?
Yeah. I have to learn the controls, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. The one thing that people may or may not know, and I'm sure Hugh does know, since the show debuted, there's new content in the game. There are new quests. There are new packs, DLC. It's fantastic. It's like it's been rejuvenated. I kind of think it might have been planned.
Well, I mean, if they're not going to have a game ready, they kind of makes sense to do something. I did notice this time around, Kevin, that game is fucking beautiful. I mean, even 10 years down the road, it still is really good looking compared to our current generation of games.
Yeah. They did a good job. They did a real good job. Besides, there's a reason Microsoft bought them.
And then fired half of them this week.
Yeah, that happens. It happens.
No, like what Paul says, I always find a fucked up game to play. So I had a couple friends over this past weekend and we played the Jackbox games. Those are always pretty fun. So you use your phone as your controller. Like, yeah, they're pretty fun.
It's online, right? It's online and then you respond. Yep.
You respond on your phone. So they have card games, and one of the games we played was Quiplash, it's called. And you're coming up with like, what do you think this person would say to this? Like, you get the saying. So this was the saying. It was beautifully done, and my friend laid down the perfect answer. What would the Riddler say as a pickup line to pick up a girl. So like nobody could think of one. So my friend was like, "Oh, this is easy," and it was perfect. He said, "Riddle me these tits." I'm like, "Perfect." That's perfect. Because he says, "Riddle me this, Kev." So he says, "Riddle me these tits." It's just something different. I thought it was great. So playing all these Jackbox games for the weekend, those were fun. And I didn't play this, but Hugh, I want to ask you. They actually announced that they are going to have a new Batman Arkham game, which I thought that was
Yes.
I was very geeked about that. So I forgot the name of the title. I should have wrote it down before the podcast. But when you guys were talking about Fallout, I was like, "Oh, I have to bring this up too because that'll be a game I'll definitely have to buy myself." So that's
Well,
what I
the new Batman Arkham game is on the MetaQuest 3.
okay.
Oh,
It's
so
for
it's
it's VR.
Oh, so
Yeah,
it won't
and
be
it's
like PC?
no,
Damn.
not
not
yet.
from what they're saying.
Okay.
As I understand it, these games will start out like that, and then they'll eventually port them over. They're doing it with the
Well-
newest Five Nights at Freddy's too.
Yeah,
Are they really? Wow.
they haven't made any official statements about that. And I mean, there are things like there's the VR Assassin's Creed game now, which is Quest only. So I don't, as far as I know, so I don't. Facebook has enough money to lock this shit up if they really
If
want
they wanted to, yeah.
So
Mm.
yeah, while there are a lot of games that you can play on both, there's no guarantee it's going to come to
Correct.
PC VR at this point.
Yeah, it's pure conjecture on my part. That's what I was
So it
saying.
went from what has me geeked to what has me ranting now. So
You used up all your rant time on the last episode.
Dr. fucking Orchid!
Wow, Kev doesn't
Wow.
remember. Even though it was a triggering incident.
Seriously.
It's
Let's keep it going. Corbs, are you playing anything?
Just started playing MLB the show. Just to Jack, my son has the Jackbox on his Switch, and at Christmas time we play the trivia part of it.
nice.
So yeah, try the trivia. It's pretty fun.
We'll do.
So I think it's on the one we play is on Jackbox 8. I think I've won an 8 and 10. We play it. So
There's just too many, bro.
there's fucking way too many Jackbox games out there. So that's it. Just baseball.
All right. Well, then I guess it's time to wrap it into what?
You didn't.
You didn't
Oh,
go.
you're right. Because I got
Jesus
myself
Christ,
confused.
man.
No, shut up. I got myself confused because I already brought up WWE 2K24. But
All right,
you're right.
okay,
there
we
was
can
one
go
other
on.
thing I wanted to mention, and that's AEW Fight Forever. Season 4 of their DLC content has just been released, and nobody cares.
I was about to say, has anybody bought it?
Let me lay it out for you like this. When Kristen got me the game, she got me the big fancy edition that has all of that wrapped into it. I haven't downloaded any of the DLC content since season 2.
How long ago was that?
Oh God, what, 6 months at least now? Just
So
they
you've
made all
got
these promises to improve the game that have not come, and it's just meh.
you have as much interest in the game as you do the actual TV show.
Wait, they still have a TV show?
They do.
On to the next topic.
Right? Moving along. Right to Cavs Tabletop Review.
Man, have I got something good for you guys this week. So, thanks to friend of the show, Jason, I am the owner of this game, and I want to show this to you. I have done a complete playthrough of this game with my wife earlier this evening. We did actually 2 playthroughs. First one to get familiar with the game. Second one to do a recording. What I want to do is I want to show you the game at BoardGameGeek.com. I want to show you a little bit of the stats. And after that, Paul will show you the reviews. So this game is Pandemic Contagion. Now, this is in the Pandemic line. It is an expansion, but you can play it by itself. You do not have to have the original Pandemic game to play this. And normally in the Pandemic series, you have to save the humans and eradicate the virus. For this game, you are the virus, and the more humans you kill, the better. Very, very fun. 2 to 5 players. My wife and I played it together as a 2-player game. 30-minute playtime. That's right on the mark. Our second game was just a little bit over 30 minutes. Ages 14 and up. I could see the communities 10 and up. That makes a lot of sense. Weight 1.89 out of 5. Right on the mark. I think it's a little bit interesting to learn, but once you learn it, it's very, very easy. Very easily played with 5 players. Very, very attractive game, as you'll see in the video. Let's see, what else can we see from, let's see the description here. After many years of trying to defeat the diseases that threaten mankind's existence, the tables have turned. You are now the disease, and guess what? There is no cure. In Pandemic Contagion, you are competing against other diseases, fellow players, to see who can eliminate humanity. With no cure to be had, the one of you that wipes out all human civilization will come out on top as the most deadly disease ever known to man. May he rest in peace. It's a lot of fun. Let's see, game price, anywhere from slightly used at $10 up to about $18 brand new. So that's not too bad. Again, don't forget, if you are a member on BoardGameGeek.com, you can go into the community and you can communicate with other members and possibly buy this game used for a discount price. And from there, I'm going to let Paul take it away with the video. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to do a quick playthrough of the game Contagion, a Z-Man game. And in this pandemic expansion, it's a standalone expansion, and you're going to see very quickly how in this game it is the disease's responsibility to kill off the population. And play starts with the draw of an event card. And you notice the event cards are set up in a very specific order. We have 3 event cards, a Who card, 3 event cards, a Who card, 3 event cards, a Who card. Now, when all event cards are played or we're down to 2 cities left, the final scoring happens. So we're going to run you through a couple of plays, and my lovely wife is going to go first. And this event card says, jet streams trigger temperature changes. Play at the start of the turn. So you have to resolve the event card and then do 2 actions. 2 of the actions would be either draw cards, infect a city, or mutate your disease. I'll get into what mutating the disease means, but you can also repeat these. So you could do draw cards twice, infect a city twice, or mutate your disease twice. And let's just see how Kathy plays this out.
Okay. Play at the start of the turn. Remove 1 disease cube from any city you are currently infecting. I don't have any, so...
We don't have any disease cubes yet, so play continues as normal, and Kathy is going to...
I am going to infect a city.
So to infect a new city, she has to play 2 cards of the color of the city she wishes to infect. So she's going to discard 2 pink cards.
Delhi.
And put, she puts 1 disease cube on Delhi because on her player card, for her infection level, the cube is sitting at the number 1 level, which is where we start. We always start at the number 1 level. So infection level is how many cubes you place on a city when you infect it. All right, my turn.
Nope.
I don't have...
Nope, I only did one thing.
Oh, sorry. Yep, Kathy has one more action.
Draw 2 cards, please.
1 card.
Sorry, 1 card.
Incubation, that's okay, that's okay. We're kind of caught up in the last game we played, but incubation level is the number of cards you can draw when you use a draw card action. And right now, since we're just starting, we're both at level 1. So there you go. And we're playing our cards face up. It doesn't really matter if we see each other's cards. I mean, it kind of does because you can kind of see where somebody may be headed. You actually infect and kill all the city's inhabitants once you have 6 disease cubes on a Delhi, 4 on Paris, 5 on Ho Chi Minh City, 7 on Montreal. You see the large numbers here represent the population size in millions. All right. Are you done?
I am.
Okay, I'll play. So I can't remove any disease cubes. So I'm going to infect the city. I have 2 orange cards. I'll play those, and I'll play 1 cube on Paris. We could infect the same city. You would just use a different line on the card, and then whoever, or when there is that number of cubes on the card, the city is considered to be eradicated, and then that city is scored on our scorecard over there. You'll see that happen. Okay, so I did my 1 city. I can also. Okay, I'm going to for my next play. I'm not going to draw any cards. I'm going to advance or mutate one of my lines. Incubation again is the number of cards you get to draw. Infection is the number of cubes you get to put on the city. Resistance is how many cubes I can protect when we get a Who card that pulls our cubes off the play. I'm going to spend 2 cards to increase my incubation so I can draw more cards. So the number 2 there indicates how many cards it costs me to move that cube. And we go to the next event card.
Okay. Play at the end of the turn. Take any card from the discard pile.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Okay. All right.
So that's at the end. Oh, okay.
At the
So
end. Okay.
so Kathy will do her 2 actions. Then she will be able to browse her way through the discard pile and take any card she wishes.
So I'm going to increase my infection. That's
Okay.
going to cost me 2.
Okay.
I'm going to infect
An existing.
an existing,
okay, yep.
which is 2 cubes.
Oh,
because
nice.
I-
Nice. Good play.
okay. And now I get to take any card from the discard pile.
I'll let you browse. So an important note in play, it only costs you 1 color disease card to infect a city with more cubes. It costs you 2 of the same color to infect any city as a new infection. And I think you've already seen the new infection. Okay. So now it's my play. I'm going to draw 2 cards because my incubation level is 2. I get a purple and orange. Now I do have the orange of Paris, so I'm going to spend 1 of these to get Paris additionally infected. So that's my 2 actions, but I can grab a card off the pile, and I think it makes the most sense for me to grab an orange, so I can use that later on. And
Okay.
the next event card.
All right. Fewer people travel abroad. You cannot infect a new city this turn.
Okay, play during the turn. That means she is prevented from infecting a new city. She can infect an existing city, she just cannot infect a new city. So that's what this means. Play during the turn. So you don't resolve the event first, you do it during your turn.
Okay, so I'll draw 1.
1 card, okay, that's the first action.
Then I'm going to infect my current Delhi.
All right. So
So
that's,
that's 2.
oh yes.
Okay.
Oh, and you're almost there. The city's almost eradicated. But we have a Who card coming. Very interesting to see what happens with that.
Okay.
Okay, and you did not infect a new city, so now it's my play. All right. I'm going to take my 2 cards because I have my incubation level of 2, so I can take my 2 cards. You have a maximum of 9 cards you can have in your hand. If you somehow draw above that, you have to discard back down to 9 cards. Our first playthrough of this, which was just before this, I did not. Neither of us encountered that issue where we had too many cards in our hands. Okay, so I am going to opt to infect a new city because I cannot infect a new city. Oh, see, she's ready to eradicate a city. If I infected a new city, I could actually get some points off of that, but I can't do that. Oh, good play. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, but I can play on mine and put another cube there. Okay. Oh, I'm all done. Yep. Now the Who card. Now let's see what this says.
A cure is found. Oh.
Play at the start of your turn. So this has to be resolved before actions are taken. Oh, remove 4 of your disease cubes from any cities you currently infect. Now, it's 4, the number 4, minus the number of cubes you have in resistance. Right now, mine is 1, and Kathy's is 1. So she removes 3 disease cubes. Now, the way we did this before is 3 disease cubes off the board. It could be off of 2 different cities. I don't really, and it does
any
say
cities you are currently
any
infected.
cities. It does say cities plural. So we play it so that you could take them off of multiple cities. I think that's correct. It doesn't really clarify that in the instructions.
Okay, I will draw 2 cards.
You're gonna draw 2 cards.
Sorry, 1 card.
1 card
Incubation.
for your incubation level.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to do a wild. I'm going to call this pink. I want to call this pink.
So at any point in time, you can spend 2 cards as a wild to make them equal any color you wish. Kathy only needs a pink card to continue to infect the city of Delhi, so she opts to play these 2 cards and call it a pink card. So she's really after that city of Delhi. Now it's my turn. I have to remove 4 cubes minus 1. That means Paris has been cured, and I have to start all over again. Okay, here we go. My incubation level is 2. I could draw 2 cards. My infection level is 1. I really want to get some cubes on Delhi because I want that second score. I found out early on that that's a really good thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my 2 cards. Then I'm going to spend my 2 cards here for a new city and place 1 cube here. When this city's eradicated, you'll probably see this very soon, Kathy will get, or whoever has the most cubes will get the highest number. Whoever has the second most cubes will get the second number. The third most will get the third number. Okay, so in that order. It'll only take 6 cubes to infect the entire population. It's very important to note.
Okay.
And I'm done, right?
You're done. Yep.
So new event.
New event. Okay. Government collapse. Draw 1 extra card. Play at the end of the turn. So you draw 1 extra card for each city you are currently infecting. Okay. Play at the end. All right. So I need to draw 1 because I don't have any cards currently. All right. And then draw 1 extra for each. So
at the end.
It's at the end. Okay.
So
I've got the
one
purple.
action. Did 1 action there.
Okay. So colors must match. I can't really do anything else.
The only other thing you could do is take another card. I think.
I could draw 1
You
more.
could take another
that
card.
would be my second
Yeah.
action. Yeah.
That's your second action.
And then I can draw 1 extra card for each city, so I can have 1 more.
1 more. Okay,
Yeah,
there you go.
And then
that's it. And that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So that play is out. Okay. So it's my turn. This is at the end. Draw 1 extra card for each city that you currently have. Okay. Okay. So I could infect a new city if I had any purple out there, but I don't. And I don't have 4 cards, so I can't use 4 cards as 2 cards. I don't have anything on the blue, so I can't do that. but I could spend 2 and infect Delhi, and then that would eradicate Delhi and give us some score. However, I think I'm going to draw 2 cards first and then make my decision that way. Did not really help in what I wanted to do. I think I'm going to do my original plan and spend 2. These are going to be my wild cards, okay? So this is actually a pink. I will score 1 cube here. City of Delhi has been eradicated. Kathy now gets 6 points. There are 6 disease cubes. 6 million population. The city's eradicated. You get 6 points.
So by you putting 2, that eradicates it?
4 and 2 is 6.
Oh, it doesn't matter what combination.
Nope, it does not.
Okay.
It does
got
not.
It. Okay. All right. 6, and then you get 4.
Yep.
Right.
So, and let's just take a look at the rule. City eradication. Each city has an approximate population number in millions, the largest number, as we see here, and maximum number of disease cubes that may be placed on that city. It doesn't really say it has to be one color. Each disease cube represents 1 million affected. Thus, when the number of disease cubes equals the city's population number, it is no longer possible to play disease cubes since no one is left to infect, and proceed with the city eradication scoring. So we just eradicated the city. Now we collect our cubes, and I don't have fingernails, so you have to excuse me. We have just been flipping our cities over to show that they're no longer with us. So that has been a city that's been eradicated, and the scoring has completed. I drew cards. I played.
Did you do that?
I'm no longer infecting a city, so I don't get a card. That's how I'm going to play it. Would you play it the same way?
Okay, yeah, right.
I mean, you have to play in order. I think
it's at the end of the turn. So
at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
So I'm at the end of the turn.
Okay.
I have no cities I'm infecting, so I lose out.
Okay, all right.
That's the breaks.
Tourism on the rise. Play during your turn. So add 1 extra disease cube when you infect a new city. Okay.
I'd like to point out that when we first played this card, we didn't really read new city. So this is only true for infecting a new city. But here's the thing. You have to resolve these cards, these event cards, every turn. So Kathy must infect a new city. So she only has 2 purples and a green, which means the 2 purples can turn into a green card, and then she can spend the green card to equal 2 green cards to infect a new city.
I'm going to call this orange.
That's only 1 card. You need 2 cards of the same
2
color.
Wild. Okay.
So these 2 equal 1 wild. These 2 wild equal 1 color.
Okay.
1 card of 1 color. So if you make those green and this green, you can infect.
I don't want it to be green. I want
Buenos
it to be
Aires.
orange.
You can't do that. You would need 4 cards.
Because you need one of the right color.
You need 2 cards to equal any one other color. You only have 3 cards.
Okay, got it. All right.
You want to draw? You want to draw first?
Yeah. Why don't I draw 1 card?
Now you have 4 cards that could equal 2 orange.
Okay. 2 orange. 2 infection.
Okay.
And give all those up.
Okay.
Add 1 extra disease cube when you infect, so I get to do 1 more.
Yep. And then you still have 1 more action.
Okay.
No, you drew. You drew, and then you infected.
I infected.
Nope, that's right. 2
Yeah,
actions.
yeah,
2
yeah,
actions.
yeah.
Boy, gotta keep track. Okay. All right, it's my play, and I am going to draw my 2 cards. Oh, and I can infect a new city. I have 2, and there's blue, and my infection level is 1, right? But my event says I get another one. and play those. And I'm done. I drew.
Because you
I drew,
Okay.
and then I infect a new city.
Got it. All right. So,
New event.
new event.
Tropical storms cause mass flooding. Play during your turn.
Mutate your disease's incubation using one less card.
Oh, nice. So remember we said when we mutate one of these 3 lines, it costs the number of cards you see on the line. So if I were to mutate my incubation here, it would cost me 3. This card means it only costs me 2. For Kathy, it all depends on which line she wants. Oh no, it is incubation. I'm sorry.
Incubation.
It has to be incubation. So it would normally cost her 2 cards. She doesn't have any cards.
I'll draw a card.
So she has to draw 1 card.
Yeah, and I could.
And now it's going to cost her 1 card to
to
complete
increase my
the
incubation.
mutation.
Yep.
And that's it. 2 actions.
That's it.
All right. I don't have any cards. I can't really do anything. So I have to draw my 2 disease cards. They are not helpful at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these to...
What about those other 3 that are sitting over there?
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 grays can get a new city.
I could get a new city. I really wanted to do a new my infection level. I'm going to spend these here and increase my. Oh, I only need 1. I only have to spend 1. I only have to spend 1, right? Because so I drew one card because it would have cost me 2, and that's my 2 actions. I need to pay attention that I actually have cards in my hand. Okay.
Okay. Oh.
Now we have a Who card. Who efforts spread globally, play at the start of the turn. Lower infection, mutation down 1 level.
Okay, so go back. All right, I draw 2.
Draw 2 infection cards, and what'd you get?
So,
Blue and a pink.
Blue and a pink. And these can equal 1 color that I want.
Yeah,
right?
they can. Or you can draw more cards.
Oh yeah.
Because you can. Because you
I
can.
gotta do my 2 actions. No, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to do that. I'm
Okay.
going to call that orange.
Okay.
And my infection is that. So that filled up Paris. Paris is dead.
So we Kathy has eradicated another city. She gets her 4 points. Takes her cubes back, and I need to just put this over. Okay.
And then that's it for me.
That's your 2 actions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you already did your infection. I have to do my infection level now. I just increased it too. Oh, what a bummer. I'm going to, let's see. All right, I'm going to spend these 2 cards here to increase my infection level. Okay. And then I'm going to spend these 2 cards here to equal 1 blue. So then I can get 2 on the blue, like that. Okay. Now we have an event card. Massive bird migration. Play during your turn. What's it say?
Okay, you may move 1 of your disease cubes from a city you are currently infecting to a new city. I have none, so I can't do that at all.
Okay.
I can't do
It
that.
also says you may move. So
You don't have to.
I'm going to play that as if you don't have to. So
All right, so I will draw 2 cards. Okay. 2 pinks.
Oh, that's good,
I
actually.
can infect a new city.
That's good.
I can only do the 1.
you want to do
I'll do Mumbai.
Mumbai. Oh.
Yeah, actually, I changed my mind. I want to do.
You can't. You have to have 4 cards to do anything else.
Oh, right, because pink.
New means 2 of
Right.
that color.
Right. Okay, got it.
I know. So you get kind of stuck
You
there.
asked me if I was sure. That's right.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
you could draw more cards.
Right.
That's- Okay, so I don't have any cards this time. I made sure of that. I'm looking here. Don't have any cards. Play during. I may move one of my disease cubes from a city you are currently infecting to a new city. See, this is actually nice because it doesn't cost me 2 cards to get onto a new city. I may actually use this. So I'm going to take my 2 cards. I'm going to play this. Okay, I drew. Oh, yep. So this is during the turn.
Yep.
So during the turn, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to play these. As a decisions. If I do them as pink, that puts me 2 cubes ahead of Kathy, which she could easily match me pretty quickly. And whoever has the most cubes on the card on the city when it becomes eradicated gets the highest number on the card as points. So I think I'm going to do that. These 2 are now pink, and I'm going to put 2 cubes because my infection level is 2 on Mumbai, because why not?
Okay. There's that.
Yep, new event card.
Okay. New school year begins. Play during turn. Add 1 disease cube in a city you are currently infected.
Oh, nice.
Play
nice.
during the turn. Okay, so
Yep.
I can just do that now.
You want to do that now? Okay.
Oops. And I will draw 2.
2 cards.
Alright, and then let's see. Purple. Let's see. So I could call that a
Pink.
pink.
Yeah. Or you could increase your
my
infection level. You could increase or your resistance. So
if I
there's always the
increase
mutation.
If I increase my infection level, I gotta give up these 2 cards, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm done.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna add a disease cube in a city I'm currently. Okay. So there's 5 there. That's gonna make it 6. Meaning that only 1 more cube there eradicates that city. So that's been resolved. Now I'm going to do my 2 actions. That's helpful, I think, because I'm going to use this to increase my. Oh no, I can't do that because it's going to cost me 3. I'm going to use this to. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to draw. I know, it's hard, right? I'm going to get some points. That's what I'm going to do. These 2 cards equal 1 pink, and I place this for 7 cubes, eradicating that city. Could you please move me 7 places? And you get 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Still ahead of me, but we're doing okay. We're doing okay. There's your disease cubes, and here's mine. And it's important to note here, we're getting very close to the end of the game. The end of the game is when we use up all of the event cards or only have 2 cities left that have not been eradicated. So we're very close to the end of the game.
Refugees flee across borders. Infecting new cities requires 1 less card. Okay.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna draw 2.
So you get your 2.
Yeah.
Yep, because your incubation level is 2.
Okay, so instead of 2 cards, it's gonna cost me 1 card if I want to infect a new city, right?
Exactly. So you could do any color. So you could do blue.
I'm gonna
You could
blue.
do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I've got 2 infections. It's gonna cost me that, and then that, and so now this one, it's done.
That city has been eradicated. Very good play. Very good play.
So you get 5.
Could you move me 5, please? Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then you get 3.
1, 2, 3.
Still ahead of me.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take my disease cues. Now that means the game is now over. And final scoring now happens. Final scoring, the way the final scoring works, end game scoring, at the end of the game, during the game, players scored points for the death tolls and the city eradications, okay? So we did all this, death tolls, city eradications. At the end of the game, perform one final death toll, scoring for all remaining infected cities. We have not infected any other cities, so there are no more tallies there. Add to this the cumulative total for each mutation level you have achieved during the game. And then Kathy's, that is 2, 4, 5. So she adds 5. And I hit 2, 4, and I get 5. And Kathy wins the game. And that is a full playthrough of the game Contagion. Now, please notice there are 5 player boards, which means you can play up to 5 players. This is a fantastic game. And please, I will do the Board Game Geek review during the podcast. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Kev. And now we're going to throw it to commercial, and we'll be back with the news. Stick with us, guys. Looking for the hottest new comic on the shelf or a key back issue to complete your run? How about that rare statue or action figure that you've scoured the internet looking for? Come to Collectibles Galore, located in North Syracuse with ample off-street parking. Collectibles Galore has a huge selection of comics, toys, and rare pop culture items you won't find anywhere else. Comics Galore is always buying comics and toys and will give you the fairest price for your collection. New customers get 15% off their first purchase in store. Collectibles Galore for all of your pop culture needs. Stop in and see for yourself why Collectibles Galore is the king of comics.
Hi, this is Craig Palmer. If you ever aspire to be a wrestler, come on down to Upstate Wrestling Entertainment, located at 1121 Glenwood Avenue in Nice, New York. We're open every Tuesday and Thursday from 6:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. Come on down and join us. See you then.
Now, before you punch a woman over not putting enough ham on your sub, here's the news. First up, the last improvisation of Christ. Are we at the point where I can say Nicolas Cage is starring in a new movie about, and whatever follows will surprise anyone? Well, this one might. Cage has signed on to a role in a horror movie based on the life of Jesus Christ. No, I wasn't swearing. I mean the Jesus Christ. As much as someone who thinks the Bible belongs in the badly written fiction section can mean the Jesus Christ. This is from Dark Horizons. The carpenter's son follows a family hiding out in Roman Egypt. The son, known only as the boy, is driven to doubt by another mysterious child and rebels against his guardian, the carpenter, played by Cage, revealing inherent powers and a fate beyond his comprehension. As he exercises his own power, the boy and his family become the target of horrors, natural and divine. Well, shit, I didn't see that one coming. And it could be the best use of a poorly characterized fictional character in a retelling yet. Cage proves once again that scraping the bottom of the barrel and pushing creative boundaries are somehow the same thing in his life. I only wish he was playing actual adult Jesus. Can you imagine that? Now, whatever you just imagined would not measure up to the amount of crazy that would actually be. Next up, styling, profiling, and flatlining. Pro wrestling legend and living Viagra pill Ric Flair revealed this past week that he suffered a heart attack during his final match in 2022. During an exam 6 months ago, his doctor noticed a part of his heart was damaged. In Flair's words, the doctor said, "You've had a heart attack in the past 2 years. I said, I never hurt. And he said, have you passed out in the last 2 years? And during my last match, I passed out 3 times. I thought it was because I was dehydrated. At this point, I would not be shocked if he lived to 120. No matter how badly he treats his body, he just can't die. Of course, now that I've said this, he will die and everyone will say it's my fault. Either way, no matter how bad you thought that last match was, he had a fucking heart attack in the middle of it and still finished the match. Is there anything more Ric Flair than that? And finally, run for it. Running's not a plan. Running's what you do once a plan fails. Presidential hopeful Robert F. Kennedy Jr. revealed some startling medical history this week. In 2010, he'd been having some mental issues, fogginess, memory loss, the kind of stuff Paul experiences every day. A scan showed a dark spot in his brain that was initially believed to be a brain tumor. However, the truth is far, far weirder. After closer examination, a doctor determined that a parasitic worm had found its way into his brain, eaten part of it, and then died. The dead worm remained in his brain, causing the dark spot. And while he has recovered, I just want to point out that when a deadly parasite known for killing people by eating their brain dies when it eats your brain, well, what the fuck is RFK Jr.'s brain made of? Is it safe to have him in the White House? Is he patient zero in the zombie brain parasite apocalypse? And finally, does this mean he might even be a threat to Chuck Norris? Well, we're never going to know because he has a better chance of surviving a brain-eating parasite than getting elected president. And that's the news, kids. Now, I want to tell you a story. It's a story of unlimited soup salad and concussions, and one I know these guys have been waiting for a number of days. So, this past Saturday, we decided to go for a walk, and I've been having some issues with my ankles hurting, and my wife said it's because you wear those damn Crocs. So finally broke down, and before we went on our walk, went to Fleet Feet and got some sneakers. They're all springy and bouncy. I feel like I'm like jumping around every time I walk. It's crazy. But we went for a walk, and on the way back, we decided to go to Olive Garden for dinner. So I'm in Olive Garden, decided to go to the bathroom. Now, this has been brought up on the show, I'm sure, in the past, but I'm going to recap for those who might not know. High toilet water is the bane of my existence. We are mortal enemies, and not for the reason that guys would like to brag about. The other dangly bits that we don't want to brag hang that low. You know, sometimes referred to as old man balls. It's a constant challenge for me, and I never know when I walk into a public bathroom whether or not the boys are going to be taking a swim. It's frustrating. It causes me anxiety, but it's the life I live. So on this day, I'm having to scoop myself backwards on the toilet seat in order to keep them out of the drink. I do my business, and then I realize if I get up off a toilet like you'd get up off a toilet, you kind of lean forward and stand up. That dip is going to put I'm going to dip right in the water, which is now soiled. And I don't want to do that. That's gross. So what I do is I kind of scoop my feet back behind me. Okay, got to visualize this. I'm getting my feet back farther than they'd normally be while you're on a toilet. And then I kind of hop up out. Okay, now I don't know about you guys, but when I get off a toilet in a public restroom, I always turn to the side immediately because I'm afraid of my wallet popping out of my pocket and landing in the toilet. So I always turn my wallet pocket away. So I spring up with all of my force in my new bouncy shoes, turn to the left. What I didn't realize, and I couldn't see because Olive Garden bathrooms are very dark and the inside of the stalls are all brown, was there was a coat hook on the inside of the door, which I slammed my head into. With all of my fat force, everything I could muster trying to get off that toilet without getting myself wet, I slammed the side of my head into the coat hook. I stood there for a second as my eyes went in different directions, and I was stunned. I braced myself against the inside of the stall, eventually left the stall. I knew that something was wrong. I washed my hands. Took me way longer than it should have to figure out how a towel dispenser works, but I eventually figured it out. Then I leave the bathrooms, which are at the front of the store, right? The front of the restaurant. And I couldn't remember which side of the restaurant we were on. So I just kind of stood there, confused for a second. And then I started going. I remembered which side we were on, and there was this family coming through. And I had to step aside to let them through because there's a lot of them and I'm fat. So and they just took forever. And after they were gone, I just kind of stopped. I forgot what I was doing there for a second. Got back to the table eventually, and I was just, I mean, Damara knew something was wrong because I just was out of it. And this just, I mean, I wasn't completely out of it. I understood what had happened. I knew where I was. I knew who I was, but everything was fucking weird. Bad experience. Of course, we go home. I text the guys. You're all giving me good advice not to sleep. Which, by the way, Paul, I saw that they apparently no longer tell you can't sleep after a concussion, unless you're having severe issues. Like if you currently can't remember anything, like you don't know who you are or something like that. But I guess they found that that's apparently not a thing anymore.
Well, that's good. I don't know if I trust that, but okay.
Well, I mean, it was 6 o'clock in the evening, 7. I wasn't going to bed anymore.
Right.
But yeah, it was very strange. And the fact that, I gave myself a mild concussion in an Olive Garden bathroom. I mean, how often has that happened? I'm sure it's happened at least 1 or 2 other times to somebody. But man, those things are dangerous. So anyway, what is the moral of the story? I don't know. Beware high waters. Check for deadly weapons on the inside of bathroom stalls. Maybe it's eating at Olive Garden is bad for your health. Or maybe there is no moral or message at all. Maybe this all happened just so the world could laugh at my stupidity and bad luck. Because unlike a normal person who would tell his friends on the down low, I am possessed by a spirit of revealing all of my embarrassing moments for the sake of entertainment. Paul?
I have a moral.
Me too. You go first.
Flush before you stand.
You still don't want to get water on your balls, dude. Come on.
But at least
Little
it's
bit of
not
that.
dirty water.
Right.
And if you
It's a
do it
rinse.
while it's flushing, chances are, there's a little bit of a divot. Give you a little bit more room.
Man, that would require timing.
My moral for you, Hugh, is don't do poo kip-ups.
Who give ups is definitely a good device.
I wrote that down like 3.5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
I had to
What is it?
that's
mention
good.
that. Poo kip-ups. Also a wrestling term, other than the poo part.
It was funny though.
All right, but
Poo is funny though.
in other news, can you believe there are people who think pro football's real? I mean, it's obviously so fake. Those hits don't hurt, and they know who's going to win before they even take the field. Back to you, Corbs.
Kind of ties into sports. All right. You do know that every year the Super Bowl lately, they predict or they tell you who's going to be in the Super Bowl by the colors.
Oh yeah, that didn't work this year though, did it? This past year.
No, the teams didn't understand it. That's all.
They failed the assignment.
They did. All right, sports. What do we got going on? Anything?
Go sports.
NHL playoffs going on. Canucks advanced to the second round. I watched the game on Friday night when Bryce had his friends over. That was a good game. Went to overtime. They won in overtime, which was nice. Lost the next game, and then they won game 6. They play first game of the second round is tonight at 10 o'clock. So let's hopefully get this done before 10 o'clock so I can watch some of the game.
That's not going to happen.
Never does.
Well, look at that.
So, what else? Nikola Jokic, he won the MVP third time in 4 years for the NBA for the Denver Nuggets. So that's pretty impressive. What else is going on? Not too much going on really. Golf, a little bit of golf coming up. Players Championships in 2 weeks, which will be nice. I'd like to. Not the Players, PGA, which is what I went to last year. So I'm not going this year.
Are you going?
No, I'm not going this year. It's someplace. Last year was in Rochester. This year it's someplace. I think it's in Midwest or something like that. Oak
should
Hill
go.
or something like that. But
Treat yourself.
yeah, well, I've been talking with my buddies, my golf buddies here. Not next year. This year it's down in North Carolina. Next year it's going to be someplace else, but is it 2026? It's going to be on Long Island, the U.S. Open, and then in 2028, it's going to be just west of the Connecticut New York border, Wingfoot. So we're talking about going to either one of those for the U.S. Open. So well, I shouldn't say we're talking. We're going to go to one of those, or I'm going to go to one of those.
There you go.
And
There you
then next year, 2025, the Ryder Cup is down on Long Island also. So we're talking about trying to get down to that. That'll be pretty fun. That's the USA versus Europe. That it was last year. Europe won it, so we'd like to go down and hang out down there. It's like a 4-day event. You go down and drink and be merry. So that should be fun. We my buddy Justin and I were talking about it on Sunday when I was over there. So other than that, I ain't got much. Baseball going on. The draft was last week. Last week, Jack?
Yep,
Was
you're
it
right.
last week?
Yep.
Yeah. Caleb Williams went first. No surprise there. I think the only big surprise that happened in the first round was Michael Penix Jr. to the Falcons.
I like it though.
I do too, but it was weird because they just signed Kirk Cousins to a 3 or 4 year, $100 million deal.
180 million.
Right. So that was kind of, they were like, well, what the hell is going on with this? So
What?
I was hoping I could stop you guys. The NFL draft. There's big news that relates to GeekPod.
What's that?
Friend of the show, Erica.
Oh yeah.
Her brother was drafted to the Cleveland Browns.
That's cool. That's
That's
awesome.
pretty
Offensive
cool.
lineman Lorenzo Thompson.
That's awesome.
I have a feeling that he's going to light that team on fire and not stay with Cleveland for long. So,
Yeah, nobody wants to play for Cleveland.
hey, that was my dad's favorite team.
He's that
I
good.
know,
He's
The man didn't have good taste.
You're like, it's like a backhanded compliment. You're like, it's my dad's team, but it's okay.
They sucked. Yeah.
Well, they
That's all I want to say. I want to add that in. So awesome for him and for Erica and the
congratulations.
family. Yes.
That's really cool. But Corbs, did you see though? Marvin Harrison Jr. hasn't signed his deal yet.
No, I didn't see that.
So guys, like he won't sign his deal because the NFL wants to have his name, but he wants to have rights to his own name. So they're having a disagreement. So his name they can't sell his jersey right now. So one of these players in the NFL draft, he's having a disagreement with them right now.
State
he
of the
does
world
know
now.
that if he doesn't play in the NFL, he doesn't really have a name.
Well, his dad is a Hall of Famer, so he's was the best wide receiver
Yeah,
in college football. No, I know, you're right.
His father.
I know he
Right.
should just sign his deal, but he's
Sign his deal, make his own
I mean-
goddamn money. Yeah.
well, I know.
But wait, so they
What?
want the rights to his real name? Does that mean that he can't market it in any other way? I mean, they can't stop him from using it.
Right,
could
they
He can
sell
use his
jerseys
own,
with
but
his
they
name
don't
on it.
want to sign him because they can't sell the jerseys and shit, basically.
Correct.
Kind of like a whole Vince McMahon move without shitting on somebody's head.
Yeah, but in those cases, Vince would change the name.
But not always.
No, not always, but
And
generally.
it never made sense either. Like I've been listening to a lot of Bruce Pritchard's podcast,
Mhm.
and it's random on what he would and wouldn't fucking like make them change. Like Punk got to keep his, but the Sheepherders had to become the Bushwhackers.
Yeah. Well, another good
cool.
example, because we're in the modern era now, and you wouldn't think it would matter, but if you watched WWE Next Gen, Jonah Niesenbaum was the standout on that. He's had some matches on NXT, dark matches and Level Up. Apparently, he made his debut with the name Cutler James, even though we just watched a reality series on Hulu where he used his real name all the way through, and he has been introduced to crowds on TV with that name. They're now calling him Cutler James. I'm like, why are we still doing this?
Right.
I mean, granted,
Stupid.
Niesenbaum's probably a bitch to market, but whatever.
Holy shit! This guy's podcast, his episodes are 1 hour 40 minutes, 2 hours 7 minutes, 3 hours 39 minutes.
What guy would that be?
Bruce Pritchard.
Oh yeah, they're fucking awesome.
Nice.
I listen to them
Oh.
all the time.
What else do you
All
have,
the way
Corbs?
through.
Anything? Corbs, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, not really.
All right. Well then, let's keep this fucker moving because Corbs wants to watch sportses.
I do. Let's
It's
get this shit
time
moving.
for Jack's trivia time with Jack. Every fucking time.
Is it? Is it really? Is it? Oh my god!
Jack,
it.
trivia time with Jake.
All right, trivia time.
Are we done yet?
No, Kev, 1
Whatever.
through 4. Pick a number.
3.
This one is brought to you by my sister's fiance. He came up with this question. What do vultures do to protect themselves from predators? What do vultures do to protect themselves from predators?
Their fucking eyes. I wouldn't think anything would fuck with a vulture.
Well, I know they travel.
Yeah,
in
but it's the
packs.
predator.
They travel in groups. What do they do to protect themselves from predators? Jesus, I don't know. They rub the carrion on themselves so they smell like shit.
No, that's Rick
No.
Grimes.
Carl.
Oh.
Pudding Carl. All right.
Sorry, Jack. Go ahead.
They actually,
know.
believe it or not, they projectile vomit on themselves.
I do the same thing at the bar.
I was close.
Yeah,
I
Does
was
it keep
women
away
close.
predators?
It keeps the women away too.
Yeah, you can do that
Hey,
at
those are
Sci
the
Fi
predators,
Horror
right?
Fest this year. You're like, nice to meet you, man. You want to come back to the podcast? Get away from me.
Do they do it to each other? Because how do you projectile vomit onto yourself?
Just
Look
projectile
down.
vomit.
I mean,
Look down, turn your head around.
Corbs, 1, 2,
Yep.
or 4.
1.
Okay. What famous comedian was once a farmhand in Indiana? What famous comedian was once a farmhand in Indiana?
I know this one.
Do you really?
Mhm.
Cool. I was literally at work writing these and I was like, no shit. My boss comes over and is like, what's that? I'm like, oh, nothing.
mind your business.
I don't think it was him.
You do know this comedian. I know you do.
I'm sure I do. So I want to say Sam Kennison, but I don't think it's Sam Kennison.
Oh.
No. Do you want a hint?
Yeah.
SNL, 80s was his big game for sure. He was more famous in the 80s, but he's still around. People know him very well.
Chevy Chase?
No.
He
Kev,
didn't
what
say he
is
was a
it?
dick.
No, Kev, do you know what is it?
I thought it was Robin Williams, but it's not.
No. Believe it or not, it's Bill Murray.
Ah. Also a dick.
Yeah, big dick. But good golfer, scratch golfer.
Very good golfer.
All right. How about Hugh? What do you got?
2.
What classic salty snack is buttery but is surprisingly vegan?
Pretzels.
No.
Really? Because my packages of pretzels always say vegan on them. Okay.
Ritz crackers.
Wow.
Okay.
They're not a snack though; they're a staple.
They
True.
are. All right. Paul,
Yes.
from which language did English borrow the word piano? From which language did English borrow the word piano?
Italian.
Yeah, correct. All right, so let's wrap it
Good
up.
job.
Nice.
Is that a
Yeah.
guess?
No,
Yes.
was that really a guess? Good
Yes.
guess.
You could tell.
All right, let's wrap it up. Bill Cowher is 67 years old today.
Who?
Bill Cowher, a former NFL coach.
Sporting guy.
Sportsing guy. Musician Enrique Iglesias is 49 years old. And then actress Melissa Gilbert is 60 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
And
I thought
then
she
in
was dead.
I thought she was dead too. All right, so but in history, 1945, World War II ended in Europe. And then in 1970, the Beatles released their last original studio album, Let It Be. And then in 1988, this is a good one, Mike Tyson crashes his $183,000 Bentley in New York City.
Standing.
Back to you, Paul.
Hey, no, I am going to call a
What?
flag on the play here, Jack.
Go.
Pretzels are vegan.
Okay. What? Okay, then
And they're
what is
buttery.
surprisingly, but are they buttery? Yes.
I
Thank you,
think
Kev.
pretzels are kind of buttery, aren't they?
Especially if you get the buttery pretzels.
True. Okay, then what is another one? So yes.
There you go. I'm
So
not
you have-
editing it. God damn it.
All right, Paul.
Pretzels are
go.
a snack.
Yeah.
Ritz is a staple. It's a staple.
True. I could go for some Ritz crackers. Let me go get those. Go
There
ahead,
you
Paul.
Yeah, because
right.
you have some because they're a staple.
go. All right. So stick with us after I give the
Yeah,
Oh,
can
you're
we do
so
this in the
bad at
right
this.
order?
God, I suck.
Yep.
2 weeks in a
How
row
long
you've
have you
done
been
that.
doing this?
Yes. 10
Jesus
years
Christ.
almost. Well, not weekly topic, but anyways, this week's weekly topic. What to you is the perfect pizza topping combination?
I
And
got
the
it.
fellers will let you know when we return from break. Stick with us, guys, and gals, and anybody else, because you know it's gotta be like that these days. Looking for the hottest new comic on the shelf or a keyback issue to complete your run? How about that rare statue or action figure that you've scoured the internet looking for? Come to Collectibles Galore. Located in North Syracuse with ample off-street parking, Collectibles Galore has a huge selection of comics, toys, and rare pop culture items you won't find anywhere else. Comics Galore is always buying comics and toys and will give you the fairest price for your collection. New customers get 15% off their first purchase in store. Collectibles Galore for all of your pop culture needs. Stop in and see for yourself why Collectibles Galore is the king of comics.
Hi, this is Craig Palmer. If you ever aspire to be a wrestler, come on down to Upstate Wrestling Entertainment, located at 1121 Glenwood Avenue in United, New York. We're open every Tuesday and Thursday from 6:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. Come on down and join us. See you then.
And that sound means it's time for your weekly topic. Let me reiterate. What to you is the perfect pizza topping combination? Go.
Can I go first, please?
Sure.
Can I go first. Okay. So I'm not going to say something like Hawaiian pizza. I have had some really good Hawaiian pizza, which, to those that don't know, is red sauce, mozzarella, ham, and pineapple. A lot of people think, "Oh God, don't put pineapple on pizza." When you've had really good Hawaiian pizza, it is really, really good, and you'll never forget it. But that's not what I'm going to say. Our go-to, we have two different pizzas that is our go. Oh, three, because I got to remember, Paul, we have ours. Shit. Okay, so when we're having
pizza,
we're having pizza here at the house, we normally get the deluxe, right, which has everything on it. You know, all the veggies and all the meats, whatever. But if it's just Kathy and I, and we're going to get one of our favorite pizzas, it's just pineapple, or not pineapple, pepperoni and onion. So red sauce and mozzarella, pepperoni and onion.
what was ours? You tease that and then you don't say.
So, okay, so the third best favorite pizza is the one Paul gets for us. Every once in a while, we have pizza in the morning. We used to get the breakfast pizza from Fast Track,
Breakfast,
which
meat
is
lovers.
okay.
Used to be. It was all right.
It's okay, but with the egg on it, if you don't eat it right away and it gets cold, it's really not that good. It's perfectly edible.
It's
not like
rubbery. Rubbery.
Yeah. So just the flavor gets a little bit off. One time, Paul and I were going on a road trip, and I got their meat lovers, just a regular meat lovers. Oh my God, that's been our go-to from that day on.
So that's become the breakfast pizza, but it's a lunch meat lovers pizza.
And it's great. It's
Fast
awesome.
Track, yes. Yeah, I'll have to let them know that we have a podcast nobody listens to, and we pumped them on the show.
There's a Fast Track here in Mexico. I've had their pizza a couple times.
Not the same?
Good.
Really?
It's no good.
It's that Mexican pizza, that's why.
Fucking Mexicans, they don't know how to make pizza.
Maybe it's just because it's Mexican.
There's that.
I'm familiar with that town as well. So
we have Polangos.
Oh, that is the best. Is it still the best?
Best pizza
in the world. I used to work there. I used to
There's
get
probably
in
still
there.
some of his hair in those pizzas.
I used to open the store with Paula, because the owners are Paula and Joe and Harris, and I used to open the store with Paula, and when I closed some nights, Joe would grab a 12-pack from the store, and we would drink a few beers, clean things up, and then experiment. Like when they came out with their pan pizza, I was there when they were developing it. When they came up with their buffalo chicken pizza recipe, I was there with him after closing, helping to develop that pizza and trying things. No, that's good. Putting celery and blue cheese and shit on pizza. I love that place. It is my all-time favorite shop, but it's too far away for me to ever get pizza from.
Not what we thought you were talking about when you said you and him would experiment after the pizza shop closed.
Why?
FYI.
There's some of that too,
But I'm glad to hear, Kevin, that you say that Polango's is the best, because they have the very best sauce I've ever tasted on a pizza. They actually have a deal with the company that sells it. It's Violet Grade A Fancy 3, I believe. They're like the only pizza shop in the area that they will sell that particular sauce to.
So basically,
that's awesome.
Next WWE pay-per-view party, you should bring the pizzas, Kev.
Ooh.
And they probably wouldn't cost $100.
Polango's is what we call the home of the most expensive pizza. They're very expensive.
That sounds good.
Their deluxe pizza, a large, is over $30.
And if I remember correctly, they actually, at least they used to use Gianelli sausage as their sausage.
They do.
Bulk sausage. But that's what makes it so fucking great.
Without question. We have a few options around, and I'm not including Fast Track. We have a few options around, and some of them are pretty good. One of them is Stefano's, which uses I forget what the mozzarella is. It's a really, really good mozzarella. It's what you really want to use on pizza, but Polango's is hands down the best pizza around. I haven't had better pizza
ever
anywhere.
I second that.
Damn.
Wow.
Or that might get me to actually come and hang out at your house on Halloween if you get that pizza.
Yeah, fat chance. You guys are always all invited to Halloween, by the way, just so you know. So it's an open invite. But anyway, who's next?
My problem's the kids. That's it.
I'll go.
Go to you.
My favorite pizza combination is sausage, mushroom, and onion. I believe it's everything. Sausage and pepperoni, I don't want to say they're interchangeable. I like sausage more, but sausage serves the role of pepperoni and doesn't have a dissimilar flavor profile.
Standard.
As long as it has to be good sausage, and so many places don't have good sausage, and so many put those little fucking sprinkles of shit that look like the beef jerky that used to come in a round plastic can. You remember that stuff? You don't need no teeth to enjoy my beef. Yeah, that shit sucks. But if it's good sausage, it has to be canned mushrooms, because people think things in canned are bad. And canned vegetables, yeah, but canned mushrooms, brined mushrooms, that's an art form that the Italians perfected. There are some things that are better if they come out of a can.
Mm-hmm.
And onions, of course, not cooked too much, a little bit of a crunch. It's just perfect for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the right onions. It's got to be the right onions.
Yes.
It can't be something weird. It's got to be the right onions.
All right. So
I would eat that pizza.
Oh, that sounds amazing. So I'm sending you guys the picture right now. So when I was in Buffalo a couple weekends ago,
Jesus.
and this place in Buffalo, it's called Macy's Pizzeria. So good. Like there, it's like specialty pizzas, and I was like, this is my pizza.
Oh, wow.
So this one had smoked.
Really?
Yeah, it's called the Large Joe Dirt Pizza, smoked barbecue chicken, bacon, red onion, jalapenos, sriracha bourbon, mozzarella, cheddar, and my personal favorite. I'm getting choked up about it. Smashed tater tots.
Oh yeah, no. I
But
can't
like,
do that.
but like
No.
this pizza place, literally people can always get pepperoni and cheese on pizza. They have anything you want on pizza. It's like a specialty pizza place, and it's like $40 for a pizza. It's
I'm not
so
crazy
good.
about that though. I'm a
Oh.
traditionalist with pizza. I really am.
Well,
Even
yeah,
That's
though
a
I'm the
little
guy that said I
much.
would eat Hawaiian pizza.
well,
And
yeah,
I know,
like,
I know.
I guess like if you want to go traditional, yes, I'll go spinach and garlic on a pizza. Good, I'm done. But once in a while, giving a little plug to this pizza place, Macy's Pizzeria in Buffalo. So good. It was really
That's
good,
cool.
but yeah, that's
cool.
what I would do.
I just this says sriracha bourbon.
Yeah.
Shouldn't that be bourbon sriracha? Because sriracha bourbon sounds like something that comes in a shot glass and they just dump on top of the
Ooh.
pizza, once it's done.
I like spicy food, and that was a good spicy for sure. That was really good. You could only have like
wonder-
1 or 2 pieces because they're huge. What?
I wonder if the jalapenos are actually like braised in like sriracha bourbon
Yeah,
or something.
they were actually.
Because I don't know. I mean, what the comma is weird, and I don't know what. And
No,
they spelled sriracha wrong. It's
they
not
did.
spelled
You're
that
right.
way. It's not
Oh
spelled
yeah,
that
there's
way.
a C missing, isn't there?
But, like-
SRI or whatever, SCRI, whatever the hell it is. That's just wrong. I know it's wrong. It's all
But
that
pizza's
matters.
pizza. Pizza's good.
Next.
Corbs.
I'm just gonna go traditional. I like a good sausage pizza.
I heard that about you.
I really
Sausage.
like sausage.
Nothing else, just sausage.
Well, I mean, pepperoni. I mean, sausage, cheese, sauce, stuff like that. But my kicker is it's got to be homemade pizza.
Ah, there you go.
Okay, my mom makes a homemade pizza that is amazing.
Okay.
You're only saying that because she's behind you.
Okay. Now
she's
hold
She's
on.
dead asleep. She can't.
Hold
fucking do it.
on. How does she do the crust? What kind of flour? What kind of
She doesn't-
preparation?
no, she buys pizza. I buy pizza dough from Price Chopper.
Okay.
So
Well,
and
that's
you
fair.
let
That's fair.
it raise. You spread it out. We get canned sauce. I can't remember the name of the sauce. Spread it around. She cooks. Just ground sausage you get from Price Chopper. I like the hot sausage. Nobody else in my family does, except for maybe my son. Usually get a little sweet sausage, cook it up, sprinkle it over, hit it with the Parmesan
Yeah.
cheese.
Don Pepino's pizza sauce, the yellow
Could be.
can.
Could be, yeah. It's a yellow can, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a
Yeah.
yellow can, it's Don Pepino's. The correct one. It's
Yeah,
the correct
that's a
one.
good one.
Just
That's a
correct
good one. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
No.
And that's it. And when she makes it, I mean, we usually make 2 or 3 because it
Oh,
it
nice.
goes that fast. So
nice. Nice.
For me,
I,
it's the local pizza shop that charges you $100 for pizza at WrestleMania.
And what?
Twin
What
Trees.
top-
No, Kevin, you should just understand that joke. That's not real. No,
No, I know. I do understand the joke. It's
No, for me,
ridiculous
it
how
really
little you
is.
get
And
for
you
how much
already
money.
said it. You already said it, Kevin. For me, it's pepperoni onion all day long. That is my absolute favorite. And it used to be like I'd be a pepperoni sausage guy, and then Kristen's aunt and uncle actually got me onto the whole pepperoni and onion thing. They were from Massachusetts, I guess it was a thing there, and they were like, "Oh, this is the best combination ever." And I'm like, "No, I'm not really an onion guy." Oh fuck! When it's good and with the crispy
Yeah.
crust, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
that's where it's at.
Oh, that's the other thing. I do always ask for the crust
Extra
well
crispy.
done.
Yes, yeah, we got that.
Gotten into that habit.
is Don Pepino's really that good? Because I always use Fermano's crushed tomatoes with basil and oregano.
Well, I mean, it depends on what I mean. If you're going to use the crushed tomatoes, I mean, it's a little bit more prep, right? Because you got to actually do something with that. You can't just put it on there. You
Oh,
don't.
I put it right on there.
Oh, really?
Well, it's crushed tomato. It's not pieces of tomato. It's like it's almost like
You're right.
not as smooth tomato sauce.
Well, I mean, it's what you like, right? I mean, if that's what you like, that's what you like. I mean, if you're just gonna buy
you're going to buy pizza sauce. If you're going to go out and buy pizza sauce, I mean, that's different. If you're gonna, use a good tomato sauce, you're gonna, and do your own seasonings on it, whatever. That's it. To me, that's a specialty pizza. I would like that. I would really like that. But if I'm gonna make my own crust, because we go by the flour at the Italian, restaurant, Vince's. We go by the flour, we'll prep the dough ahead of time, and Kathy will, split it all up and
Vince's
spread
in
it
North
out.
Syracuse?
Yeah.
Vince's Imports? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll buy the flour there. I'll buy the sauce there. I know you said not to, but they have the crumbly sausage there already, in the crumbles.
Now, I don't mean I mean
No,
sometimes
he
it's
literally
like
means
little
like
tiny
chipped beef looking
dots.
shit. Yeah.
No,
Well,
it's
yeah, but
no, it's
okay.
not even like chipped beef.
It's a little different.
It's slightly bigger than powder. Like you're
I
getting.
know what you mean.
Yeah.
These are a little bigger, but I mean, I can buy the package of them. So I get a few things there, and we'll have people over here, and I'll make those pizzas on the pellet grill, and nothing is ever left over. There's no leftovers ever.
I order like 5 pizzas right now.
I've wanted to try making a pizza on my pellet grill, but my go-to pizza recipe is my pan pizza. So I don't even have a recipe for because that dough would not work on a pellet grill.
You could put the pan on. You could run the pan right on there. Whatever you're making it in, you can just put that on the pellet grill.
I just don't know if that would work. If I would get the same. The reason you put a pizza on the pellet grill to begin with might be blocked by the cast iron skillet.
No, you get the flavor on top. The cheese and the toppings will absorb that smoky flavor, but the heat is still it's the heat, right? It's still an oven.
Yeah.
So it does work. But what we do is we do a thin crust, and I'll do the pizza stone in there, and I use parchment paper. So I'll put it on the parchment paper. 3 minutes in, I'll spin it. Like 2 or 3 minutes later, I'm pulling it off, and it's done. Everything's perfect. So 4 to 7 minutes on the pellet grill, and it's done. And it's so good.
Hey, send me your recipe.
Yeah, okay. I'll put it together. It's really not anything we have written down, but I'll put it together and I'll get it to you.
All right. Okay. Again, another one with legs. I love it.
It's pizza. Everybody
pizza.
Right.
Who doesn't? Yeah, I'm kind of hungry.
As my son always says, you can't fuck up pizza.
You can't.
Yeah,
really.
you can.
I was gonna say
mean,
that's
you
not a
can,
challenge
but-
you want accepted. That's But let's bring this fucker home. Guys, it's time for the midstream report. What are we watching?
Oh man.
Oh, since everyone's so eager to start, I will. I watched Godzilla -1. And let me tell you, this was an excellent movie.
Did you watch it in color and black and white?
Watch it in color.
Okay, I heard black and white is more powerful for some reason. I don't know.
Here's the thing. The Japanese Godzilla movies have kind of always been their own timeline, their own thing. This is, I don't want to say it's a reboot because I don't know exactly where it fits into the whole thing, but it is almost like a retelling of something earlier. It happens just post World War II. And while there is still a little of that Japanese weirdness, and I have no problem with Japanese culture. I actually love Japanese culture. But man, they do some weird shit. I don't know, maybe it's different now, but I mean, the fucking slamming their heads down on tables and stuff when they feel like trying to say I'm sorry to somebody instead of I feel really bad about this, like slamming their head down. There's some of that weirdness, and maybe it's like old cultural stuff. But if you can get past that, this is a really well-made movie on a small budget. It looks like the Hollywood version of Godzilla when it comes to the Godzilla effects. I mean, they're amazing.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I was floored at knowing that this was, let's face it, for all intents and purposes, an indie movie that looks like a Hollywood blockbuster. And
that's awesome.
It might just have more heart, even though our current American version of Godzilla and King Kong and all that, I think, is excellent. This has a core to it that's different than that, and it goes right back to Godzilla's origins. And
But-
I think it's.
Sorry, finish first.
I was gonna say it's the I've watched other Toho and the classic Godzilla movies, and while I like them all, this is the first time that it felt closer to modern storytelling standards, I guess. It kind of felt like a cross between what you loved about the old ones, but hey, we know how to tell stories better now, 2024.
True. But where does it rate with Godzilla 98?
I think my experience in the Olive Garden bathroom was better than Godzilla 98.
Not
In
Godzilla? Yeah.
In fact, my Google review of that bathroom was 10 out of 10 would bang my head again.
Yes.
Oh God, I remember seeing that in the theaters and regretted my choices in life instantly.
I just watched the trailer for Godzilla -1. Wow.
Yeah. Gotta watch it, man.
That's
It's
what
not
I hear. I heard it's phenomenal.
Funimation's apparently doing a dub. It's not out yet. I had to watch it with subtitles, but
Paul, we need a movie night at your house.
Oh, projector, yes. Backyard
Well,
alcohol.
Even
yes.
living room. I don't give a shit. We need a movie night.
Okay. Moving on. Who wants to go?
I'll go. So basically, I wanted to watch a good comedy I haven't seen in a while, so I just put on an old classic. She's Out of My League. So that's a good movie. Jay Bernshall, he thinks he's not as attractive to the girl he really loves, which is Alice Eve, which she is gorgeous. And TJ Miller is in a band that does like only Hall and Oates songs, which is really funny. So I thought that was good. And actually a band in the movie, like always stupid comedies have really good soundtracks. So the band Jet had the song called Cold Hearted Bitch, which is a really good song. I was like, this is an awesome song. So like I just like every time I come home from work, I'm like, Alexa, play that song. And I was like, this is just awesome. And for Kev, watch the season finale, the series finale of Bad Batch.
Oh,
Man. Yeah, I know. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Just powerful. Just like you watched it right to the end, right?
Does it explain why fucking the bald chick now has a Karen haircut?
I don't know what you're talking about. Who's he talking about?
Lightsabers, God, why can't I come up with her name?
Oh,
Ventress?
Ventress, yes.
Asajj
thank you.
Ventress.
Well, you have to watch it.
It doesn't. Okay.
You know how many years I'm behind on that?
It doesn't
Okay.
explain. It doesn't explain where she is and why she is, but it helps her story.
Good
Awesome.
answer.
She has a story arc that is incredibly interesting and
Mhm.
one worth paying attention to throughout the entire Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch,
Right.
and wherever she ends up afterwards.
What about the novel about her and the Jedi in Darkness?
Count Dooku?
No. God.
No, but
God, I'm terrible with names for Star Wars tonight.
but when you think of it, let us know. But like
Dreadlocks, yellow across his nose.
Oh, the Indian.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I know who you're talking about. I don't remember his name.
The
I didn't
book was
realize
phenomenal, though.
I didn't realize the two of those connected in any way.
You need to read or listen to that book. It's
Okay.
phenomenal.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that Bad Batch series finale though was just so good. And last but not least, the Tales from an Empire. The shorts that came out, those are really good.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I haven't seen those yet. We need to watch those.
watch
Same.
those and we'll definitely discuss those for sure.
So-
Kev, I want your take.
So Tales of the Jedi, they did a Tales of the Empire,
Mhm.
which is basically the beginnings of people that you have found and
Right.
either love or love to hate. And
I like Tales of a Jedi a little bit better than the Tales from an Empire, the Empire, but they were still very good. But yeah, watching those three things this past weekend were pretty good.
Outstanding.
Kev, what do you got?
I mean, I want to say so much more about the Bad Batch.
I do too. I could talk about it.
The last episode. Oh,
I know.
right in the feels, right in
Oh.
the fucking feels, you know? Yeah, no, it was so good. It was so good. Watched obviously the Fallout series. We went to see the new Ghostbusters movie. We actually wanted to see Civil War, but that was packed and it was all sold out ahead of time. So we ended up going and seeing the new Ghostbusters movie.
Frozen Empire.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, which I it's better than wasn't bad, right? It was very good. It was a continuation of this last one they had with the
Afterlife.
kids, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, Afterlife. Afterlife is, as I said before, I'll say it again. It was the Ghostbusters continuation that we deserved, we wanted, and we deserved, and anything that came before it shouldn't have. Enough said. This is a continuation of that. It brought back all the old characters, including, of course, my favorite, Annie Potts. Anything she's in, I'm all over. I just wish that she would do a Star Wars celebration or a signing or something. Her and Mark Hamill together would just be fucking phenomenal. The two of them together, remaking the Corvette Summer poster would be fucking amazing. It'll never happen, but it would be awesome. It was good. It was really, really good. It wasn't as good as the last one there, whatever the hell it was.
Afterlife.
But it's definitely worth seeing. I don't know. I don't really have anything else. We've been watching some other stuff, hit and miss.
And it's hard because it's going to be nicer weather, so we don't all want to sit inside.
Is anybody watching Tracker? I've heard good stuff about it.
What is that?
Is it worth it?
I like it.
Okay.
I do like it. It's good.
I don't need to talk about it. I wanted to get someone else's opinion.
What is it?
It's basically a guy that is a rewardist. So basically, somebody puts out a reward saying, "Oh, my daughter has been missing for 2 days. Can you come find her?" And he comes and he's a tracker. He learned from his father. His father, when they were younger, took his entire family off the grid, taught him how to survive in the wilderness, track.
Is this the Justin Hartley show?
Yes.
Saw the first episode. Yes, I didn't know it actually. It was like the preview of the show when they played the first one, and I lost track of it. That was really cool. The first episode was awesome.
Yeah, it's a good show. I watch it. I don't watch it on Sunday nights when it's on. I usually watch it at some point during the week on Prime. Not Prime. Take it back. Paramount.
Gotcha.
So I usually catch it on Paramount. So I enjoy it.
Based on a novel, The Never Game.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Came out 2019.
Yep. So I've been watching that. I watched Fire Country, which is the other one that I like. That's on CBS. And then SWAT. Those are the 3 TV shows that I kind of watch right now. The other thing that I did end up watching over the weekend was a movie called Freelance with John Cena. It wasn't a great movie. I'll leave it at that. There were some funny parts in it and stuff. It was made 2023, so it was one of those I think made for TV movies or whatever. It's got John Cena and Alison Brie in it. It's a cute movie. It's an action, romance, comedy, drama. I guess you would call it, all of the above. I don't know. But I saw it on Hulu one day and I was like, it's got John in it. I'll fucking go ahead and watch it. And I watched it. I chuckled a few times, but nothing to write home about. So,
Gotcha.
Hey, Corbs.
Yeah.
Your definition of "I'll leave it at that" and mine are completely different.
Nice.
It's true. I'll leave it at that.
All right, and then I'll take it over from there. And this might shock you guys, actually watched the first episode of Fallout. Because we have kids, it's much harder to watch shows like that. But the first episode was awesome.
Yeah,
love that. And you know what? It actually surprised me. Like, I didn't see the twist coming. That was really fucking cool. I can't wait to actually get an hour where Kristen and I can actually sit down and watch adult programming again. Not like that, but Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
Take what you can get.
Exactly. And the only other thing that I've gotten to watch Madison and I sat down, thanks to Peacock, and we watched WWF In Your House, #1. From, does anyone remember where that first pay-per-view was recorded?
Wasn't here, was
Syracuse,
it?
New York.
Syracuse, New York. Exactly.
Wow.
1995.
One and only pay-per-view ever done here.
That's absolutely right. 95, so it was New Generation. It was about as good as you would expect it to be as a pay-per-view in Syracuse. But it was just kind of neat. Madison got exposed to that era of wrestling for the first time, so if she got to see Bret Hart for the first time, stuff like that. Mabel, enough said right there. They got to see Bret Hart twice because he wrestles twice on that pay-per-view. Yeah, in an hour and 20-minute time, he has 2 matches out of that, so that tells you, how deep the roster was at that point. But
Was it at the War Memorial?
it was, and that
Nice.
fucking building has not changed.
I was about to say that probably hasn't changed, has it?
No, it's exactly the same. But it was pretty neat to see some of that. And that was the time frame when I was no longer watching wrestling. So to go back and see some of these guys from then, like, and Owen was alive then. Obviously, it was before his swan dive.
Oh, you had to go
Sorry,
there.
I did. He was actually a tag team champion with Yokozuna at that point, so he was a bad guy then. But Sid Vicious and Diesel was the main event on that. So
Okay.
there we go.
So who pulled the hamstring and who broke their leg?
Right. At that point, no legs were broken, and then no one had to take time off for softball season. So, but that's all. That's all I've gotten to watch. It was just a good time to throw into the Wayback Machine.
That's all, folks.
Exactly. Let me look at this. Oh yeah, look at that. It is. That's all, folks.
That's it.
I believe so. Anybody got anything else?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Well, drop your nuggets so we can get out of here. Fuck.
Fuck. Okay. Good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from bad decisions. Good night, everybody, and make a movie, bitches.
This has been a GeekPod Network production.